This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Game day, first inning. Warming up in the bullpen, I look out at Newman Outdoor Field. Good. Everyone on the Redhawks is at his normal position. No pitchers in the outfield, as their manager, Doug Simonic, had threatened. But the lineup card shows that Darryl Motley isn't playing. This is the guy who said on the radio he would not play against me. Motley, who used to play in the majors, is on a 6-game hitting streak, and I wish he were in. I want to compete against the best they have. I'm glad to be pitching against the Redhawks' #1 starter, Blaze Ilsley, tied for most wins in the league. The game is sold out, and the stands are filled with 5,000 fans in home team red T-shirts. It's pennant night, so the fans are waving Redhawks flags. Newman Field reminds me of the diamond in the movie Field of Dreams, as if it emerged in some magical way out of the North Dakota prairie. Actually, it's on the edge of the campus of North Dakota State University and is a beautiful new brick ballpark. The ironwork and seats are painted forest green, and the field kind of sits up instead of being sunk down. Unlike Midway Stadium in St. Paul last year, Newman is more of a pitcher's ballpark because it has lots of foul ground and the prevailing winds don't turn fly balls into home runs, so I feel free to pitch the way I want to. Funny, the dimensions are the same as those of Yankee Stadium, a tribute to a Fargo native named Roger Maris, who broke Babe Ruth's home run record in 1961. By the time I finish throwing, the sweat is dripping off me, and then comes the announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem. I take off my cap, which I vainly hate to do because when I sweat my hair turns poofy. Wipe the salt from my eyes, stand tall, and place the cap over my heart. I can feel my heart beat through my jersey. As the music begins, the words fill my heart and send a thrill throughout my body. I love this moment. Land of the free and the home of the brave. The words remind me that this is where I belong, on the field. After the closing notes, I head for the dugout, where everything begins to blur. Players and coaches are moving around me, but in slow motion. Fans are yelling and pointing at me, smiling, waving, but I just hear my breathing. They are talking to me, their lips are moving, but I don't really hear them, focused as I am on the game. The Dukes score a run in the top of the first, thanks to an RBI double by Big Papa, also known as Anthony Lewis, one of my biggest supporters. With the third out, I get ready to run to the mound when Dave Glick grabs my arm. He knows that's the only way to get my attention when I'm about to pitch. He looks me in the eye and says, "You've got this, Ila." I grin at him and think to myself, just do what you did last week when you notched that win. As I jog to the mound, the crowd erupts with cheers and boos. I see the lips of my catcher, Javier Rodriguez, move as he calls my name, but the noise from the stands is so loud that I can't hear his voice. Great to hear the love, but it's the boos that will drive me now. I grab the ball from behind the mound, rubbing it to get the last bit of gloss off and get the feel of the ball. I take my place on the rubber. The mound feels right, and I feel comfortable. Mounds are subject to regulation, but there are nuances. From mound to mound, the rubber doesn't always sit in the exact same place. In Fargo, the dirt has more clay in it and feels more stable. After my 8th warm-up pitch, I bend low as Javier throws the ball to second, who underhands it to Luis Brito, our shortstop, who throws it back to me. Luis points his mitt at me, as if to say, "Let's go." I scrape the dirt off my cleats on the edge of the rubber, take a deep breath, and push it out. The Redhawks are intimidating, not just because they're in first place.